The words you say can make you millions. How do I know? Because I've trained a lot of people who, as soon as they know how to say, what to say, how to use their words in ways that are helpful and supportive and give other people what they need, when your words care more about them than you care about you, it can make you millions. Welcome to this video. Thank you for joining, and we're going to get right into it. It is often said that words are powerful, and that couldn't be more true when it comes to making money. In this video, I'm going to share 10 ways that the words you say can make you money, and I'm going to explain each one. So let's get started. Number 1, networking. Most people do not realize how powerful networking is. People have coined the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know. There's a reason for that. It's because when you connect with people, they feel that connection and they don't feel like you're just in it to take, you're not just one of the takers, then all of a sudden things change. You've gained a relationship that is symbiotic. You can help each other. Networking is all about making connections with people who can help you achieve your goals, but not because you are selfishly trying to find people who can help you, the taker. It's because you have something to offer and you're looking for people who it's a perfect fit. You make a great team. You have something that can help their business. They have something that can help your business. Now, does that mean that you disregard everybody else? No. You're busy making connections with people and looking for ways that you can benefit them. And as you go around doing these things, it is crazy how many connections you make and how many benefits it brings when you are more worried about them than you are worried about you. And the words you use when you introduce yourself and your business can make a huge difference in how people perceive you. If you're confident and clear and concise when you explain what you do, and you make sure you follow up with potential clients or partners, that brings a positive reputation and they will remember you. And then when opportunities come that could be a good fit for you to work together or to help each other, they are interested in that partnership or in that relationship because they already have a positive experience because of the words you said when you first met them. And when you're networking, it's also really important to listen really carefully to what the other person is saying and to respond thoughtfully. What that means is you're not trying to sound super smart. You're not trying to make it seem like you know everything. You care about what they say and you're responding to what they say. You're not trying to change the subject. The words you use can demonstrate your interest in investing in the conversation, or it can lead to a negative experience for the other person so that you just hurt your reputation. And word gets around. So it's really important that you learn how to communicate in a way that is connecting with other people instead of inviting disconnection. When you connect in this way, it leads to deeper connections and to potential business opportunities. The second one is sales. Sales is all about persuasion. But when people use the word persuasion, it can have a negative connotation, as if I'm trying to coerce someone or force someone. Persuasion is all about helping someone finding out what they need and helping them see the different options and helping them find the one that's best for them. You are persuading them to select the option that absolutely will be the best fit for them. And the words you use can make a huge difference in closing the deal. I've trained people who are really good. They seem very smooth, but their sales numbers are very low. And the reason is because they use words that turn someone off. You need to use persuasive language that is positive and convincing for the potential client that your product or your service is worth their investment. If you use words that aren't appropriate or you use words that aren't as good, you're going to leave the person feeling like, okay, it's a level 5 instead of a level 10. If you know the words to use and you use them, you leave almost every customer feeling like, I have to get that product. Now, the only issue is how do I find the money? Because they know it will solve the problem that they have. If you are so busy trying to sell and trying to say the right things to get them to buy, instead of worried about what their need is and how you can help fulfill that need, then you are not going to see the success that you want. Focus on the benefits of what you're offering and explain how it will solve a problem or meet their need. And guess what? In order to meet the need, you have to know what the need is, which takes saying the right words. It's also important to listen really carefully to the other person's objections, because when they have concerns, you need to respond thoughtfully. When their concerns are taken care of, they're a lot more willing to listen to the next step. And the words you use can demonstrate your understanding of their needs, or it can demonstrate that you don't really care about their needs. So show that you are willing to work with them to find a solution. The third one is negotiation. Negotiation is all about finding a mutually beneficial solution. And the way you can do that is by the words that you use, the questions you ask, knowing the right things to ask, knowing the right things to say, knowing when to be quiet, knowing when to talk, knowing when to reassure. The words you use can impact whether or not the person is willing to compromise. Be assertive, but also be willing to listen and be willing to compromise yourself. If you want them to compromise, when they see that you are willing to compromise, all of a sudden it changes things and a humility enters the situation. And now all of a sudden, both sides are willing to work together to find a solution. It's also important to stay calm and be confident throughout the negotiation process, throughout the whole thing. The words you use can demonstrate your confidence in the value of what you're offering and in your ability to find a solution that works for both parties. It's interesting. I was in a situation where I already had a coach for something that I was working on, and they're a really good coach, the best that I could find. And then at the last minute, because of some timing scheduling, and I was flying out of the country, I ended up needing to get some things taken care of and get some solutions before I left the country, but my coach wasn't available. So I quickly found a coach that would be able to help me really quickly, kind of just at the last second. And when I met with this coach was so confident, but not arrogant, but so clear and simple that they knew exactly what they were doing. And I could tell by the way they were talking that they were really good at what they do, that they were passionate about it. They've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, and they knew what needed to be done. And they guided me through the process so simply, so efficiently, that now I want to use this coach instead of the one that I was using before, because they were so confident and really were an expert. They knew their stuff. What if they were as good as they really are, but they didn't act confident? I would not have had buy-in, and I would have been glad to have their help for this one little period of time, and then I would have then gone back to my other coach. But that's not what's happening because of their level of confidence and the words they used, the words they communicated to me, and the attitude they communicated to me. Number 4 is public speaking. Public speaking can lead to significant opportunities. You can get speaking engagements, you can book deals, you can get media interviews. The words you use during a speech can impact your reputation and your credibility for years to come. If this is even if it's not recorded, but if it's recorded, even longer. When you are public speaking, it's important to be clear, be concise, be engaging, let your personality come through. Use language that connects with your audience and makes your message memorable. And it's also really important to practice beforehand and be comfortable with your material, because the words you use will demonstrate, again, confidence and expertise, which will lead to future opportunities. Number 5 is blogging. Blogging can be a lucrative career if you're able to build a large following. And this is content that will be up and available for your readers and other readers to find over a long period of time. If you never take it down, now this content that you created is out there for anyone who is searching for what you have been blogging about. And it's important to use language that is conversational, that's engaging, that cares more about who you are trying to serve than getting what you want. Number 6 is social media. Social media platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok have made it possible for people to make millions through sponsorships, through partnerships, through brand deals. But that's because the words they say are getting out there. If the words they use are not appropriate, are coming across negatively, if they don't sound legitimate, then all of a sudden you've just hurt your reputation. So the words you use in your captions or your videos can make a huge difference in how people perceive your brand, whether or not they'll be willing to pay for your services. And when you're using social media, it's important to be authentic, be genuine. Again, let your personality come through, because your audience will be attracted to you. And you may not even really realize who your actual audience is. I know some of who my audience is has been a little bit surprising to me, because I thought I knew. I've been training and teaching for years and years. I've taught all over the world, and I've taught in small groups, I've taught in massive events, and I thought I knew my audience. But the audience that comes are the perfect fit for me, and they come because of the words I use. So make sure that your language is connecting with the audience and reflects your brands and values. And it's also important to engage with your followers. And when you engage, guess what? Be careful of the words you say. Make sure your words show that you care more about them than you care about you. Number 7 is writing. Writing can be a lucrative career if you're able to hone your skills, build a following, because you don't just make money from the book or the writings that you have. You make money from partnerships. You make money from deals because of what you've written. You make money because you're invited to speak. You make money because of the repercussions of the words you use in the book. So the words you use in your writing, whether it's a novel, a screenplay, a freelance article, a business book, it doesn't matter. The reader's engagement and interest in your work will come from the words you use. So when you're writing, it's important to use language, again, that is clear, that is concise. The more confusing you are, more you're all over the place, the harder it will be for them to want to connect with you. In fact, you're inviting them to disconnect because you're not making it clear, because you're not inviting them to a solution. They don't know exactly what's coming. So whether you're writing fiction or nonfiction, the words you use can demonstrate your expertise. It builds a loyal following that lead to future opportunities, as each of these do. Number 8 is coaching. Coaching is a field that relies heavily on communication. And it's not just what you say, it's how you make them feel. Now, I say how you make them feel. You don't make someone feel a certain way, but most people don't understand that, so they attribute how they feel to you. They think that you've made them feel a certain way. So when you are coaching, it's important to use language that is positive, that's supportive, that focuses on building rapport with your clients and helps get them the results that they're looking for. And again, if it's confusing, if it's not clear, if you take forever to say it, then all of a sudden they get tired of it, they're ready to move on. Make sure you have empathy, that you're understanding, and this can lead to long-term client relationships. It leads to referrals, and it creates more business for you. Number 9 is consulting. Consulting is a field that involves providing expert advice to help solve a business's problems or an individual's problems, an entrepreneur's problems. And the words you use when you're presenting your service can make a huge difference in whether or not they're even interested or whether you're able to win a contract. So when you're consulting, it's important to use language that is simple, that is understandable, that by the time you're done, they know exactly what you mean. They know exactly what you have to offer, but more importantly, they know exactly what result they are going to get, what they are going to get out of it, what's in it for them. You need to build trust with your clients, and that comes from the words you say. Number 10 is your branding. Branding is all about creating a strong identity for you, for your business, for your personal brand. It is what lets people know exactly who you are, what you're about, what you accomplish, what results you get people. And the words you use in your branding can impact how people perceive your brand, which then is a reaction to how they perceive you. It reflects your brand's values, your brand's mission. So focus on creating a message that resonates with your target audience and it differentiates you from your competitors because you don't want to look just like everyone else. That you might see other people in your niche who they sound amazing and you think, wow, that's good. I got to use that. But be yourself. Some of the things, it's so interesting because I've noticed that after I try to learn from other people. So I'll get out there, I'll read books, I'll watch videos, and I see their personalities of other people who are in my niche. And I think, wow, they're amazing. And I find myself not even on purpose starting to try to implement some of the things they do. Of course, I need to learn from them, but make sure you are yourself. For the longest time, I didn't even realize I wasn't being myself until someone asked me to speak at an event that was for a business I had been growing for 15 years that was much more comfortable to me. And I knew exactly how to do it. I could do it in my sleep, but the new business I had been building was different. And I was trying to do videos and trainings in that new realm. Well, when I was invited to speak at this other event, it was night and day difference. I was my old self. I was having fun. I was engaging the people. I was being my own personality. And you'll even notice in my videos in my YouTube channels, they start off not as much me. It's like I'm holding back because I'm trying to be something else or someone else, not on purpose, but because it's taking me some time to grow into this new role. I'm an expert in business, but now I have a new niche of clients that I'm teaching and training, and it takes a little bit of time to re-engage in a way that's you and where you feel comfortable and you're confident again. And that's something that happens when you make changes, when you're learning something new. So focus on creating a message that resonates with your target audience, that differentiates you. And it's important to be consistent in your branding across all your platforms and to monitor your brand's reputation. Because if you notice that something you're saying or doing is creating negativity for your brand, follow up with that. Don't be afraid to say, I'm sorry. That has a lot to do with how people feel about you, how real you are when they see you make mistakes, and then how you handle those mistakes. So just remember that the words you say can lead to so many opportunities that it can create millions of dollars of income. And life isn't all about money. Business isn't all about money. Business is about serving other people. But I do believe that we need more people who let me rephrase that. We need a lot more good people who make a lot of money. Because I've seen what good people do with their money, and it changes the world. So go out there and don't just think different, be different.